This is breaking news from the Las Vegas Review-Journal. Sponsored by Michael Gaughan's South Point Hotel, Casino, and Spa.
Danny Webster, Las Vegas Sun. Nick, penalty kill was a big focus coming into the series. So far, 6 for 6 through 2 games. What's been different? What's been working for you guys so far on that end?
I think we try to be a little more aggressive on the kill than we've been in the past. I think it's been working. You look at last game, the first power play there, he had a lot of big saves for us, so obviously it makes a big difference. But I think we've got our PK has been getting better game after game, and we're just feel good about it right now.
Back left.
Shea, this Gary Lawless from the Vegas Golden Knights. Brady McNabb said the other night about you that you were playing really well, and he said you can see with Shea, he's moving his feet, and we can see it. Certain nights you come around the net and those crossovers are going. How does that? Once you get that going, is it contagious for you?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's just a confidence thing. Once you start to feel good, legs feel good, and you just kind of roll with it. And I think as a pair, we've been doing a good job last couple of games, and hopefully we just keep it going tonight.
Back right.
Kristen Shelton's ESPN. Shea, for you, it seems like, especially defensively, you guys have been able to do a lot to frustrate the Panthers so far. What do you think has been the key there just to holding back their offense?
I think we've been managing the puck real well. Our forecheck's been strong, and we've had guys, reloading through the middle. We've caused a lot of turnovers, and it's been pretty. It's made our life as a D-core, pretty easy. I think just having our forwards be in the right spots and helping us out, and I think we've done a pretty good job breaking the puck out as well.
Take a couple more in English, front right.
Jesse Granger at The Athletic for Shea. You mentioned once the confidence gets going, those things start happening for you. This might not be easy to answer, but do you remember what starts that confidence? Like what part of the game kind of leads to the confidence? Do you remember anything really getting you going?
I don't know. I think it's just kind of little things here and there where you start to feel good, and yeah.
Last question in English, front left.
Adam Hill, Las Vegas Review-Journal. Nick, I know there's a lot going on back home. I guess how impacted has your family been, and how difficult is it to kind of focus on what your task at hand is with whatever's going on?
Yeah, obviously it's not easy to watch from far away. I guess my hometown's, the people over there have been good, but in the region there's a lot of people that have been relocated, so it's not easy to watch, but it's nice to see all the people coming together to try to defeat what's going on right now.
Shea, thank you for your time. We'll now take a couple in French on the right side.
Bonjour Nicolas, François Gagnon d'RDS. Tu fais partie des quelques joueurs des Golden Knights qui ont été repêchés ici. C'était en 2015, si ma mémoire ne me joue pas de tour, qu'on était ici. Est-ce que, si rapproché que ça te fait quelque chose de te souvenir que tu étais ici il n'y a pas longtemps comme un petit gars qui sortait du junior puis que tu es rendu un homme qui est dans la finale de Coupe Stanley?
Ouais, j'ai fait le lien quand j'ai été, justement, quand on a su qu'on jouait contre la Floride en finale. C'est sûr que c'est spécial. Ça a commencé ici, puis d'avoir la chance de jouer pour mon rêve là, comme ça en finale, en même place, c'est sûr que c'est spécial. J'ai vécu des très beaux moments ici, puis on espère en vivre d'autres.
Salut Nicolas, Patrick Friolet d'RDS. Nicolas, on a parlé un peu aux Panthers ce matin, puis ils veulent peut-être s'éloigner de trop donner de mise en échec pour se concentrer un peu plus sur ce qu'ils ont à faire comme équipe. Pour vous, est-ce que vous avez le sentiment que les Panthers vous ont forcé à être plus physiques ou vous l'aviez déjà de votre côté?
Non, je pense pas. Je pense qu'on a continué à jouer la même game. Je pense qu'on a une équipe. En général, on a des gros bonhommes. On n'a pas peur du jeu physique, mais on va pas sortir de notre jeu non plus pour donner des mises en échec inutiles ou après les sifflets, avoir embarqué là-dedans. Ça n'a jamais été notre style de jeu. Puis on va continuer à jouer comme ça.
Thank you for your time, Nick.
Yep. Thank you. Amos, il y en a alentour, mais genre, c'est plus en région, les villes alentours que le monde a été relocated.
Coach Cassidy will be here shortly.
Thank you.
Well, they're probably also after seeing the other challenge what they have upgrades. It's just like you're going yeah, just briefly. It's not coming at the speaker line, and you didn't bring his laptop. So. From the Vegas Golden, Bruce Cassidy. If you have a question for Coach, please raise your hand. Wait for the microphone. We'll start front left.
Ben Goats, Las Vegas Regional. Bruce, we talk a lot about your depth and not loading up certain guys with minutes. How much do you think that helps you at this time of the year? You're about to play game 102.
Well, I mean, the wear and tear on the body, I think sometimes injuries happen and there's not much you can do about it, and other times they happen because of fatigue and overuse. So we don't fall into the latter, right? We haven't really taxed our guys maybe as much as other teams. That's by design. We've been fortunate we haven't been in the playoffs either, these long overtime games where that can have an effect on them either. We've had a few that were settled fairly quickly, with the exception of the first one in Winnipeg. So sometimes you need a little bit of that to go your way as well to stay healthy, because we have been predominantly healthy. So we'll knock on wood and hopefully it stays that way.
Front right.
Bruce, there's a bit of a debate in the game right now about, the smaller puck-moving D and bigger D and guys that, fare better in some of those, how you rate them. But you have a pretty physical group of D, obviously talented too, but my point is that the playoff game is different, and I wonder what your philosophy is on the kind of D you want to have on your team.
Well, I have two experiences getting this far with it, right? In Boston, we had Torrey Krug, who played a big role for us, who played hard. If you remember the hit on Taunton, he could still play physical. Matt Grzelcyk was a smaller guy, and we had Connor Clifton come in because we had an injury. I think it was to Kevin Miller. So we had three guys that would be more on the undersized, and now we're with it, and we made it to Game 7. So you can't sit there and say, well, we couldn't do it, right? I mean, you're one win away. And now we're a much bigger crew, longer. And it's not always the physical part; it's the length sometimes to get inside, right? If that's the system you play, your stick length, you're just getting into people when you're longer and taller and heavier can wear people down. So I've seen both sides of it. Obviously, this year, it's been a big strength of our team. I think what everyone's looking for, Pierre, is probably the guys that are long, that can still move the puck and contribute offensively, but get in the way and be physical defensively. So and those guys don't grow on trees. So if you're able to do that, I think that would be my preference. But sometimes the guys that move the puck the best are happen to be a little undersized. You need that in your lineup too. So, but for us, it's worked out the other way. We have a young kid, Cormier, that's down in Henderson, who's a real good player and could be would probably be a future Golden Knight that goes more to the undersized guy. So we'll see down the road what works best. But right now, that's how we're built, and it's working for us.
Left side, third row.
Steve Wano, Associated Press. Bruce, we've talked a lot about having the guys who've won before, been there before, and all of that. It's no guarantee of success, but what areas of a playoff run, of a playoff series, do you see the benefit of guys like Pietrangelo, Barbashev, Chandler Stevenson, who've won a championship before?
Well, tonight will be a good example. We're coming into a road building. They're down a couple games, so that to expect their best. So those veteran guys will be in trying to balance being on your toes and playing with composure, right, and taking a deep breath when it gets loud. So tonight will be a good example of where, especially if, things don't go our way early. You need those calming voices. Game 6, we had a conversation the night before in Dallas about what was at stake, and having the veteran guys, help with your messaging there was important for us. We probably had our best game of the playoffs coming out of there. So there's different times that it comes in between games, and then obviously on ice when the bullets are flying, and you've got to be able to sort of manage your emotions, and that's when those guys can help on the bench as well.
Back right. Dan Rosen, NHL.com. Bruce, we've talked a lot in these playoffs about Jack Eichel and, his play, his 200-foot game, everything that he does for you on the ice. I'm wondering if you've seen leadership qualities in him, too, through this season and through this run, what he says, what he does on the ice, what he says, what he does in the room, off the ice, and, in meetings and things like that.
Yeah, he's not a vocal guy, Dan, by any means. He'll talk in small groups and talk in his line, but and by that I mean when we're just going through video and such. Could probably get more out of him one-on-one, I find, in that regard of what his thoughts are. Leadership on the ice, I'll go to second period when I got hit the other night. He picked himself up, got some assistance and sort of got himself squared away between periods and come right back out on the ice and helped us win a hockey game. So to me, that's a high character guy and a guy that basically came out after and said, yeah, it was a hit. I had my head down, got to play with my head up next and just keep playing through it. He's not looking for anything other than his next shift, and I give him a lot of credit for that, because that's his hardest hit I've seen in a while, and he helped us win a hockey game and basically led us by example there. Some of the other stuff, work ethic and practice. He's a guy that's out shooting pucks all the time after. He's very hard worker in practice, takes it seriously, doesn't want days off. So he leads, again, by example that way for a guy his age. Now maybe when he's in his 30s and he's got some wear and tear, that'll be a little different. But right now he knows he has to keep working on his game. So I don't know if those are some examples of what he's done for us. He was a captain in Buffalo, so he can certainly knows how to address the room when he needs to. And he came up with the Elvis wig, and I think it's a big thing for us in our locker room, to be honest with you. So you got to have a little sense of humor or a little creativity as well. I think those things can go a long way over a long playoff run, and I think that one's been talked about, and I think all the guys want to get it. So good for him for coming up with it.
Take one more question, right side, third row.
Ken Bolke, Minot Vegas. Coming into the series, were you expecting to kind of get as much offense from the blue line as you have, or has it been kind of just a product of how the games have gone?
No, I mean, I don't. We want to get our share. We knew Theo eventually would get going, I think, offensively. Petro's on the power play, and he's a guy that plays a lot of minutes, and he's a guy that gets involved. So Whitey's chipped in. Marty usually get a couple looks like Nabber. You hope they go in, 1-1 in. So at the end of the day, you want it. I mean, it's built into how we break the puck out and through the neutral zone, how we want our D joining. And pre-scouting Florida, there's some instances where the low to high play is available, so you need to use it and get your D involved. So yeah, we were hoping to get some. We have so far, and hopefully we get some more.
Thank you for your time, Coach.
Thank you.
Watching breaking news from the Las Vegas Review-Journal. Sponsored by Michael Gaughan's South Point Hotel, Casino, and Spa.